3 hours to consider a lot of the report backs on the matters that we considered last week and to continue on with our preparedness under the National Emergency Plan for the coronavirus. The first point I want to make is this. Every Australian, all of our citizens, whether you're the Prime Minister, the Minister for Health, the Chief Medical Officer, mums, dads, school teachers, nurses, paramedics, childcare workers, boys and girls, we all have a role to play in containing and managing the spread of the coronavirus and ensuring that Australia is best prepared and best able to deal with this global virus. We all have a role to play. We all have responsibilities to play, to support each other, help each other, inform each other, assist each other as we all get through what will be a difficult time in the months ahead. The Minister for Health and the Chief Medical Officer will speak to the various statistics and what we're learning around the world. But we all have a role to play. Today, we made a decision in relation to travel bans to, of course, continue the travel bans in relation to mainland China and in relation to Iran. We have also today decided that we will put in place a travel ban in relation to the Republic of Korea. We will also put in place what are enhanced screening measures to deal with those travellers that come from Italy. And I want to be very clear about what those enhanced screening measures involve. Travellers will be asked mandatory questions at check-in, and anyone failing those checks will be denied approval to board. If anyone gets sick on board, biosecurity and health will meet the plane on arrival and manage those people directly. On arrival, travellers will not be able to use the smart gates. They will have to be dealt with directly by an officer. They will be asked further detailed questions. They will undergo health screening at the airport, which involves temperature checks and associated checks. If necessary, health will make a decision on what is to happen with that passenger, and Border Force and biosecurity officers will also be placed in the baggage halls to conduct a further questioning and checking. These are the enhanced screening measures. They require a much greater deployment. The cohort that we're seeing coming from Italy as opposed to the Republic of Korea, we have about 5 times, in fact just over that, 5 times the number of people coming from Korea than we do coming from Italy. The other issue is that with Italy, this more broadly feeds into the issue of Europe and travel from Europe more broadly, and we'll be watching closely those developments over the days and weeks ahead. In relation to the Republic of Korea, we will also be upgrading the travel advice to level 3, which is to reconsider the need to travel to the Republic of Korea, and it will be at level 4, which is do not travel to the province of Daegu. Now, in relation to Korea, the reason we've taken the decision to put the travel ban in place is because of the much higher level of visitation and travel we are seeing from Korea than we have from those who are coming out of Italy. And that means the ability to immediately put in place the enhanced screening measures that I've talked about for Italy, to do that for Korea would be far more difficult. And so the better decision is to put that ban in place, because we believe that affords the best protection and will enable us to, as has always been our objective, to slow down the rate of transmission, which means that the health system and all the other plans that we're putting in place will be able to deal with the virus here in Australia. Today also, the National Security Committee has reviewed the progress on potential pandemic preparations. That has gone from everything from the availability of surgical masks, in particular, to working with the aged care sector. Tomorrow there will be a rather intensive workshop with aged care sector to be working through the issues in relation to aged care. Later today, I think even as we speak, there's one currently going on with Indigenous community to ensure that the plans we have in place will be effective in those communities. We're also standing up from today what is known as the National Coordination Mechanism. That is being stood up through Home Affairs. They're the arrangements that are normally put in place through Emergency Management of Australia in relation to national disasters and things of that nature. That will coordinate, together with the states and territories, the whole of government responses to what needs to be addressed outside the direct health management. So issues around hospitals and primary care and working with the aged care sector, that will continue to be a direct responsibility working out of the Department of Health. But broader issues when it comes to power, continuity of services, working with state governments, the execution of powers, all of these types of things. Ensuring we're supporting workforce needs and how those issues can be managed on the ground, working with state and territory police forces. There are a broad range of other issues that have to be managed which are not directly health related, and this coordination mechanism will mean that we'll have the best possible interface with states and territories, well ahead, frankly, of many of these issues which are not present at the moment, but if they become an issue that has to be managed into the future, we will have mechanisms in place to be able to address those issues. So Australia, as I've said many times, we've got ahead of this early. We intend to stay ahead of this. The measures that we've announced today following the NSC meeting will assist us to continue to stay ahead of this issue. But I say to all Australians, you can help too. You can help by keeping calm and going about your business. You can help by supporting those who may be undergoing self-isolation. I think it has been an extraordinary thing to see Australians who have complied with and cooperated with the self-isolation requirements that we've put in place. We've got tens of thousands of Australians who've been subject to those. And indeed today, those who are quarantined under the Diamond Princess will be returning to their families, and I know they'll be looking forward to that, and I know their families will be looking forward to seeing them. We want to thank them for their patience and cooperation, and all of those who have been involved up there in Howard Springs and providing support and care to them. And I particularly want to thank the Northern Territory Government as well for the great job they have done in supporting us as we put these quarantine arrangements in place. So to all Australians, let's get through this together. Let's help each other. Let's stay calm. Let's go about our business. Let's continue to enjoy the most wonderful country in the world in which to live. And that doesn't change under these circumstances. And we've always worked well together. We've always understood what our responsibilities are. And we've always gone about our business with common sense. And that's what we're known for. So let's do that. And I'm sure, I have no doubt, Australians will get through this like we get through everything else.